To understand the current rivalry, let's first delve into the historical context. The relationship between the United States and China has evolved significantly over the years. In the mid-20th century, the United States supported the nationalist government in China led by Chiang Kai-shek during the Chinese Civil War. However, the victory of the Communist Party under Mao Zedong in 1949 led to strained relations between the two countries. The Cold War further deepened the divide between the United States and China, as China aligned itself with the Soviet Union, while the United States led the Western Bloc. Tensions escalated during the Korean War, where China supported North Korea against US-led forces. For several decades, the United States did not recognize the People's Republic of China diplomatically, and there were limited interactions between the two countries. It was not until the late 1970s that
dramatic announcement by President Carter. Normalization of relations with China. The president said, "We recognize simple reality. China and the United States to exchange ambassadors, to open embassies in each other's capitals." One of the reasons this came about is the enormous change that's taken place in China and its foreign policy, as well as inside the country. Change is instigated by Deng Xiaoping.
This period of reform and opening up gradually led to China's integration into the global economy and its emergence as a major economic power. This marked the beginning of a new phase in US-China relations. The United States became an important market for Chinese goods, and American companies began investing in China. However, tensions arose over issues such as human rights, intellectual property theft, and market access, setting the stage for the rivalry we see today. One of the primary drivers of the rivalry between the United States and China is their intense economic competition. China's economic growth over the past few decades has been nothing short of remarkable. To put it into perspective, this is China's GDP compared to other countries. China's GDP has grown at an average annual rate of around 9.5% over the past 4 decades, outpacing most other major economies. On the other hand, the United States, as the world's largest economy, has also experienced steady growth, but at a more moderate pace. This stark difference in growth rates has led to a shifting balance of economic power, challenging America's long-standing economic dominance. China's rise as a manufacturing powerhouse, with its ability to offer low-cost labor, has attracted significant foreign investment and led to a surge in exports. As a result, China has become a major player in global trade, with a significant trade surplus, especially with the United States. This trade imbalance has been a source of contention between the two countries, resulting in trade tensions and the imposition of tariffs on each other's goods. The United States has accused China of unfair trade practices, such as intellectual property theft, forced technology transfers, and state subsidies to domestic industries, resulting in a trade war that has had far-reaching implications for the global economy. Beyond trade, both countries are also competing for dominance in emerging technologies. Both countries recognize the importance of technological advancements for economic growth, national security, and global influence. China has made significant strides in technological innovation. It aims to become a world leader in cutting-edge technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotics, and biotechnology. Through initiatives like the Made in China 2025 plan, China seeks to reduce its reliance on foreign technology and achieve self-sufficiency in critical industries. Meanwhile, the United States has long been at the forefront of technological innovation, with Silicon Valley serving as a global hub for tech giants and startups. However, China's rapid rise has fueled concerns in the US. The race for semiconductor supremacy is a prime example of the technological rivalry between the US and China. Semiconductors enable advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, 5G networks, quantum computing, and hypersonic weapons, which could shape the future of humanity and the power in the world. One of the areas that have been a source of significant tension in the US-China relationship is the issue of Taiwan. Taiwan, officially known as the Republic of China, is an island nation in East Asia that has operated with its own political and economic systems, separate from mainland China since 1949. The status of Taiwan is a complex and sensitive matter, as both China and the United States have differing perspectives on its sovereignty. China considers Taiwan to be a part of its territory and has not ruled out the use of force to achieve reunification. On the other hand, the United States acknowledges Taiwan's political and economic autonomy and has committed to supporting its self-defense capabilities. This difference in perspectives has created a delicate situation, with China pressuring other countries to sever official ties with Taiwan and limiting its international recognition. The United States, on the other hand, has increased its engagement with Taiwan, including high-level visits and arms sales, which China views as interference in its internal affairs. The situation in Taiwan has become increasingly precarious in recent years, with China intensifying its efforts to isolate Taiwan diplomatically and economically. The United States, concerned about the potential use of force by China and the implications it would have for regional stability, has increased its engagement with Taiwan. This has included high-level visits, arms sales, and legislation aimed at strengthening U.S.-Taiwan relations. The situation in Taiwan remains a highly sensitive and complex issue, with the potential to significantly impact the overall dynamics of the U.S.-China relationship. The rivalry between the United States and China is not solely driven by economic and geopolitical factors, but also by significant ideological differences. American ideology is centered in liberal democracy and capitalism.
It's freedom to work at the job you like, freedom of speech, and to peaceably assemble. Freedom to own property, security from unlawful search or seizure.
Where's your warrant, Flatfoot?
The right to a speedy and public trial. Protection against cruel punishments and excessive fines. The right to vote and to worship God in your own way. It is these freedoms that have made America strong.
On the other hand, China operates under an authoritarian system with a different set of priorities. The United States frequently criticizes China's record on human rights, citing issues such as restrictions on freedom of speech and expression, censorship, and the treatment of ethnic minorities. China, in turn, argues that its unique model of governance has been instrumental in its remarkable economic development and social stability. It emphasizes the principle of non-interference in internal affairs, rejecting external criticism of its domestic policies. This fundamental difference in ideology shapes their divergent approaches to global governance, human rights, and the role of the state. The ideological clash between the United States and China also extends to their respective spheres of influence. The United States has historically promoted its values and democratic institutions around the world, fostering alliances and partnerships based on shared values. China, on the other hand, has been gradually expanding its influence through its economic and geopolitical initiatives, often without any preconditions related to democratic norms or human rights. The competition between these two ideological powerhouses has profound implications for the international order. It raises questions about the future direction of global governance, the balance between state sovereignty and human rights, and the potential emergence of alternative models of development and governance. As we look ahead, the future trajectory of U.S.-China relations remains a topic of intense speculation and global significance. The rivalry between these two global powers is poised to shape the course of international affairs for years to come. Managing this complex relationship requires striking a delicate balance between competition and cooperation. On one hand, the United States and China will continue to compete in areas such as trade, technology, and influence. On the other hand, cooperation between the United States and China is essential for addressing critical global challenges. Climate change, global health crises, nuclear non-proliferation, and regional conflicts all necessitate collaboration between these two major powers. The future of U.S.-China relations will also depend on the ability of both nations to manage areas of disagreement effectively. It is important to recognize that the rivalry between the United States and China is not solely a zero-sum game. While competition exists, opportunities for collaboration and mutual understanding also abound.